Hey guys, you're watching Mia's new pair of glasses, and today's video is literally going to blow the lid off of the truther community. This is a video that I've wanted to make for a long time, and I've known that doing so is going to piss a lot of people off, including a lot of my subscribers. But nonetheless, no one promised that the truth was pretty. So I encourage you to listen to this with an open mind and hear what I have to say, because the perpetrators at the core of the truther deception need to be exposed, and this needs to be brought to light. We don't have a lot of time left. I'm not really concerned about the blowback as a result of this. I'm going to talk about the truth about what's going on in the truther community.
So let's just jump right into it. I'm here to burst your bubble, and I'm sorry. It's not my fault the truth is the truth and that it's set up the way that it is, but it is, and we need to talk about it. To burst someone's bubble, shatter someone's illusions about something, or destroy someone's sense of well-being. And there's nothing that's going to destroy someone's sense of well-being more than finding out that your trusted truther, the ones who introduced you to specific topics, the ones that you believed in, are part of this deception. But I want you to remember as we discuss this, this is for you. So, who do you trust? The answer to that is no one, none of the above. The reason being is that this whole stage is controlled by the controllers. That means that the whole show, all the actors, the good guys, the bad guys, and everybody in between are their actors under their script. So now let's talk about the method that they use. They hook you with little golden nuggets of truth to gain your trust so that you will listen to them. So once they've given you some truth and they gain your trust and they gain your ear, that's when they start in with the deceptions, because every good lie is going to have a lot of truth and the rest be false. That's what makes a good lie. The distractions are to keep you running in circles, looking in the wrong direction, so that you're not paying attention to what you should be really concerned about. What is a distraction? A thing that prevents someone from giving full attention to something else. And the controllers absolutely love YouTube because it is a breeding ground for distractions and ways to keep you wasting your time so that you don't know the thing they're really trying to hide from you. So the recruitment process, how do they get these truthers to be part of the deception? Coercion, the practice of persuading someone to do something by using force or threats. To put it simply, the controllers have something on them. It's something they've done, something they could get in trouble for, and something that's being held over their head. And so they're given a job to do, which is to go on and deceive people in the truther community. And that's how they get roped in, guys. And with something this important, a deception this big, they have the whole spectrum covered. They've got the market cornered on every aspect of truther issues that exist. Christian, planetary Nibiru, New Age, alternative health, flat earth, government corruption, political, etc. They're not going to leave any corner of the truther community unchecked without one of their deceivers leading the pack on that topic. So what I want people to know is this, that I am not discussing any of the people that I'm going to name because of who they are, where they stand on any issue, or what topics they cover. Because some of these issues I do agree with and I do support, but it has nothing to do with that. What I'm interested in is the deception and the intentions behind what they are doing. That is what I'm not okay with. I'm not attacking the person. I'm attacking the behavior and the actions and the taking part in a deception that has been completely orchestrated by the controllers in an effort to lead people astray. That is a thing that I just cannot tolerate and angers me to no end. That these people, for whatever reason, have gotten wrapped up in this, and they are distracting people and wasting people's time from the thing that they need to know that's going to determine whether they survive this catastrophe that's coming or not. Because I'm going to tell you something. They all know. The controllers know, and everybody that's deceiving you knows. And if they aren't pointing you towards the electromagnetic plasma catastrophe, they are irrelevant. So when you start to understand the scope of this and what is at stake, you need to start asking these questions. How many subscribers do these people have? Who do they associate with? Who do they promote? Who do they attack? Now this can be tricky considering what I told you, considering that all the actors are on the same payroll. So there are going to be opposing views and spats, again, to distract you. What kind of graphics do they have? Do you understand what kind of manpower and hours it takes to get somebody to make you graphics? Does it seem like they have a team working behind them? How many videos do they upload every day or every week for that matter? How do they have the time to do that, considering they're working? If they're working, then do they have the time to pump out those videos? If they're not working, how are they affording to stay afloat? Are they monetized? As you can see, Brian and I are not monetized. So monetized sites might give you a clue, right? Are they asking for donations? Now this can be tricky as well because some sites that do ask for donations are part of the control system. But if they're not, then how are they supporting themselves and pumping out the content that they do? Now we're going to take an example. Shaking My Head Productions. This is a channel that was started in 2017. They have 102,718 subscribers and millions of views on their video. Do you know how hard it is to get that amount of exposure in that little amount of time? And oh, looky here, they're monetized, which means that YouTube has reviewed and approved of their content. Then you go over and you look in the related channels section, and you'll notice when you go to all these channels, you are going to see the same related channels popping up time and time again in that right-hand column. Promoted by YouTube/Google nonetheless. Is it starting to make sense now? These are the questions that you need to ask when you look at these channels. Are these people being interviewed on any kind of platform with a microphone in front of their face? Are they having any kind of exposure like that? If they are getting that kind of exposure, there's your clue. If they are being interviewed, are they being torn to shreds? Are they being argued with? But you can assume that anybody that gets the type of exposure that it would take to get an interview on any major channel or platform, that they are in the club. And who are these channels recommending? Who's recommending them? Who are they pals with? The only person that I associate with and partner with in all of the truther community is Brian. Other than that, we are completely independent. And even though when Brian created his channel, he was really small and very unknown, there were groups of people, well-known channels, that tried to get him on for an interview so they could sabotage his model and make him look like a fool. But guys, sorry controllers, we're smarter than that. And recently I discovered that a clip of me talking from one of my videos was featured in a Plain Truth video from back in April of 2018. I was not asked to be put in this video, nor was I credited or even mentioned who I was. This was very curious to me, considering I guess some people think all exposure is good exposure, but this wasn't exposure because if anybody saw me on there and they didn't already know who I was, they wouldn't know my channel name and they wouldn't know how to find me. So it wasn't used in that way. It wasn't a plug. And I don't know why I was used. And don't think that the smaller channels are necessarily safe either, because another tactic they have is to bring in constantly the newer, smaller channels that look like they're independent because they're smaller. However, they do this because over time, people start to get hesitant of the people that have been out there for a while and do have a lot of subs and a lot of exposure. So they have to constantly be bringing in and bringing up new channels that seem to be just working on their own and working to seek truth. But that is not the case. So what you need to know is these distractions waste your time. And they know that hardworking people only have so many hours in the day. So if they can waste hours of your time with things that distract you from what's really important and lead you astray, then that is a victory to them, because you're not researching what you really need to know, which is how to survive the coming catastrophe. And what makes this very tricky in this truther world is that there is some truth to what these people are saying and lots of distractions. It's up to you to weed through it and figure out what is important and what is complete BS. And why do the controllers absolutely love to round people up into the spiritual, religious, and metaphysical arenas, especially through convincing you that the world is run by Satanists and the Illuminati? Because their message is the same. The thread that runs through all of these areas is work hard for God. Be a part of something. Be humble. Take those down who aren't humble. Take direction. Be unselfish. Be meek. Do no harm. And finally, don't question. Do what you're told. This makes you not a threat to them. When you are trained to do this, you will stay in your place in the system and you won't be a threat to the people that are threatening you. But if you can understand the game within which you are operating, then you can start to ask the important questions and start to look to the intentions behind what these channels and what these people are really doing and what would be their angle. But what I want you to remember is, don't get angry at me for pointing this out. You should be angry at these people that are well aware of what's going on and are participating in the deception. Those are the people that you should not have any kind of sympathy for, because they don't have sympathy for you. Believe me, they are well aware of what Brian and I have discussed, and they are complicit in taking part in this deception. So that's all I have for you guys today. Stay alert, stay safe, be good to one another, and as always, God bless.